Fagin and Miss Havisham by James Thayer. When the carriage's door opened from the inside, the two runners heaved Fagin into the cab. He grunted as he landed on the deck. "Prettily done?" A woman's voice. Someone on the carriage seat. She passed a cloth purse through the window. The taller Bow Street runner dipped his hat to her. The other said, "Any time, ma'am, you just call on us." Fagin tried to rise, but his hand slipped on the crinoline of the woman's dress. Still on the deck, he glanced up at her. A hard gaze, a fine necklace and bracelet, Fagin couldn't make out the stones, and a hat with a geranium in the band. "Get up," the woman ordered. Fagin put one foot under him, but when he tried to rise to the seat opposite the woman, the carriage jolted forward, and he tumbled onto her. Her voice crabbed, "Get off me, you oaf!" His hand caught in her dress fabric as he scrambled to right himself. She pushed him away, then looked at her hands as if touching his clothing might have left grease on them. "Your pardon, madam." He took off his hat. "I was tossed like dice in a cup." Harness bells chimed as the carriage moved along the street, passing a milliner's shop and a circle of children playing knucklebones in front of a Cadder's bottle warehouse, identified by a flaking sign above the door. "You may be wondering," the woman said, "what wind has blown you here?" The fine wirer replied, "Not a good one is my guess, so now I must beg to take my leave." Fagin reached for the leather strap that would open the carriage door. "I hope you have a clear head when it comes to the main chance, Mr. Fagin." She waved him to the carriage bench opposite her. "Because I am going to offer it to you. Sit down and hear me out." Fagin's hand closed around the door strap. She said, "I intend you no harm." "I am not persuaded of it, madam." But he lowered himself to the pleated leather seat opposite her. As the carriage trundled along, he brought his eyes up to her, and it was a grim visage he beheld. Her mouth might have been full and lush, but it was pressed into a thin line, and looked comfortable in its severity. Her nose was as narrow as a knife. The bones of her face were finely planed, her cheeks sunken, and her chin was pointed so that her face was a triangle. Her grey eyes had faint lines at their corners that hinted at some life lived. Her hair was not quite blonde and not quite grey, but rather the colour of tarnished silver. Curls hung from under the hat, covering her ears. Hers was a haughty face, but without the languid boredom that usually accompanied haughtiness. Her gaze pushed Fagin back in the seat. This woman's countenance was of business, and her business was with the fine wirer. "I have learned much about you, Mr. Fagin," she said. "As far as can be determined, you are as loathsome as a French comb." He pulled off his hat and smiled, revealing a black lower tooth. "Perhaps you will state your purpose in employing Bow Street runners to kidnap me?" Window curtains hung from brass rods, but they were pulled back, allowing grey daylight into the carriage. A patch of cloth that had been dipped in lilac water hung from a clip near the back window, and filled the interior with sticky scent. "You are the best pickpocket in London," she said. "At least that is your reputation, am I right?" "You ask me to incriminate myself." Fagin smoothed his trousers. "And you have me at a disadvantage, madam." "My name is Havisham." The woman's voice was iron. "Miss Havisham." Her dress was spread on the carriage's seat on both sides of her. The dress was a light blue with needlework roses near the hem. Mother-of-pearl buttons on her red Spencer jacket glittered in the half-light inside the carriage. White calf gloves covered her hands, and she gripped a cloth reticule where coins clinked together. "I've heard you can steal a man's eye-teeth from his mouth without him knowing it." She lifted her head so that she looked at him down her nose. "Your hands are as skilled as a cellist's. You are a genius at light-fingering." "I am a wholesaler of fine imported silk handkerchiefs." She laughed, a brittle sound. "Decades dedicated to perfecting your art of stealing, and yet your life remains lamentably squalid. Just look at you." You have been listening to an audiobook excerpt from Fagin and Miss Havisham by James Thayer, published by Creative Texts Publishers, LLC. All rights reserved. Visit our Creative Texts website at www.creativetexts.com to check out all of the other great authors and titles available from the Creative Texts catalog.